Hello to all my friends out there. Hi you guys. So what I'm doing is I'm making quite a bit of food so that I can just keep eating this food. What I do is I just eat it until it's gone. So I have 2 eggs, and what I want to make, one of the things I'm going to make is an egg and cheese burrito. And I'm going to make 2, so 2 burritos is enough for 2 meals. When it's egg burritos, although you've seen me eat the hash with eggs the next day, but generally if it's burritos, I always try to make about 2 cups of powdered milk a day or evaporated. And so I just want to scramble a few eggs to make myself a couple egg burritos. So, if you're having to watch your money, if you make a lot of food so that you know you're going to have plenty of food that day, you're going to be a lot more comfortable. So what I did was I fried 2 pieces of turkey bacon that I got from Dollar Tree, and then I had about 1/4 of this package of turkey that I got at 99 cents only. I cut it in 4 pieces, and that's 1/4. So if you just eat your little hamburger, then all your food is going to be gone. And so I didn't fry my hamburger in too much grease, because the turkey bacon doesn't make that much. So I added a little margarine, and I want to make myself a little batch of gravy. What I do is I make a batch of gravy, and then I eat it later. I can eat it like a little bowl of soup, or I can eat it on some potatoes or whatever sounds good at the time. So this is why if you stockpile meat, say if you just had a little piece of meat and you had like 2 people, those 2 people are going to be a lot more comfortable than like with a half a piece. And if it's you too, and you want to eat this like for the rest of the day, this is going to be much better than just having one little hamburger. And so I find these to be a good deal. I bought this evaporated milk at Dollar Tree, and it makes a little more than 3 cups. So I just made the 2 cups I needed, and the rest of the milk is in there. So I had a little bit left over from yesterday, so I'll start out with that. Gravy counts as food. In the small catechism, there's no gravy eating on fast days. I thought, yeah, how did you know? Someone like me would think of that. So 2 cups and 2/3 cup powdered milk. So if you have 2 cups of powdered milk a day, you're probably not going to get a protein deficiency. You want to avoid that. You really want. Another thing, if you eat a varied diet, if you eat, several items, then, you're going to be in a lot less danger of deficiencies of any sort. I want to make my gravy kind of like soup. It thickens up, after you cook it, especially if you save it in the. I found powdered milk. If you guys saw the videos yesterday, I have bought over the last few months quite a bit of milk. Thank God. So if you're in any kind of disaster situation and you have milk to go on your cereal, or you have milk and you can make yourself a little batch of gravy, you're going to be so much better off than if you don't. And you can substitute milk, cheese, yogurt for a little protein. I put pepper, but I didn't put any salt on my gravy yet. So then you just add your milk little by little. And so you're not going to be, you know, and if you have some canned fruit, you could cook it down. And you just drain it, cover it with water, add a little sugar, cook it down, and you can, you know, you could make a little cobbler, you could make a pie, you could use it like jam. So this is quite a bit, going to be quite a bit of gravy when I get it done. So basically this is 2 eggs. I want to make sure I get my eggs done. Okay, now I'm going to make, I know a really inexpensive salad that is good. And back here I have all the drinks. I have some tea that is partially frozen. I have, this mineral water will stay if you close it tight. And I have some Gatorade. So I will drink all of my drinks up. Okay, so now I want to make myself a little salad. And this is a pretty good little salad, and it is not expensive to make, and it's good actually. I think when you buy your own lettuce, I was thinking, you know what I was thinking would be a good deal is go 1 month, 1 time lettuce, 1 time cabbage. So what I want to do is, I'm going to go down here, I just want to cut some thin slices of lettuce. My gravy is looking good. My eggs are looking good too. So there's my eggs. They're looking good. So now I want to heat my tortillas. So what I have is I have some cooking spray. So I have some lettuce, and you know I have my bacon, my turkey bacon. You know, if you stockpile your freezer, you know, last month, you know, there wasn't a cloud on the horizon. I was just being incredibly cheap. But if you are incredibly cheap, these are good bacon bits too. So I'm just going to put these tortillas in a dry pan. You know, with the cooking spray to heat them, because they're going to taste so much better if you heat them. So I have, you know, I think it's really helpful, you know, to see what the other guy does with their stockpile. Really, really helpful. Okay, so I have some tasty bacon bits. I did was I ground some rotel tomatoes to make salsa for my burrito, but it's also good on a salad. And you can buy these in the big cans, and you just put some salsa. And then what I have all the time is Parmesan cheese. Most people have this for spaghetti making. And then, you know, this time it just so happened to have bacon bits. So this is, believe it or not, this is a good salad, you guys. All right, so let me put this back here. Owie. Okay, so I'll put half of the egg. Ow. And then, here's the rotel tomatoes. I bought these at Walmart. And then in my refrigerator and my freezer, I stockpiled cheese. And I find the cheese from Dollar Tree to be pretty good, you guys. Howie. So I've been buying my eggs at Walmart. I think they're cheaper at Aldi's, but Walmart has pretty good eggs for the price. Nice big eggs, but they have eggs at Dollar Tree too. So, since I have the gravy, I don't need that much cheese on my burritos, just a little bit. I'll eat both of these today. I'll just keep one in the refrigerator. So there's my two nice little burritos. And, you know, so now, okay, no, this is kind of hard to do, you guys. Now, my gravy is looking pretty good. So there's nothing expensive at all going on here. Nothing. I had to go to Walmart today. And so when I was at Walmart, they had these, I turned them over to bake them, you know, to brown them on both sides. They had these rolls, and I thought, yeah, that'll be perfect for my gravy, because I knew I was going to make gravy with that little piece of turkey burger. Okay, so now I want to talk to you guys a little bit. So, you know, here's my meal. I could stop here, but the gravy is like the soup. You can eat that the next day. Oh, I wanted to mention to you guys, I was watching Pink Fairy, and she used her coupons, and I thought, wow, I wonder if I have any coupons, and I do. So that is a great channel, Pink Fairy. You should watch it. Fries, $1. Buy one, get one free, quarter pounder. So I might get myself some lettuce wraps. Okay, now, let's see. All right. Today in San Diego, coronavirus patient mistakenly released. A botched test result from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention allowed an evacuee infected with the coronavirus to leave a San Diego hospital Sunday after initially being told by the CDC they were clear. What they probably did is just took a temperature, and the person didn't have a temperature, so they said, you're good to go. There was actually four together, and it says that all 4 quarantine patients were admitted to the isolation units after arriving from China last week and were discharged back to the quarantine quarters, this is what they're saying, at the Marine Corps Air Station Miramar after the CDC shared with caregivers. Now, all of these caregivers cannot be 100% uninfected. Tests came back negative. Further testing reveals, probably after the person got good and sick, that one of the 4 patients tested positive for novel coronavirus. Another thing, let's just call it latent. It wasn't showing the temperature. The confirmed positive patient was returned to UC San Diego Health for observation and isolation until cleared by the CDC for release. It also has received another patient with possible corona symptoms, bringing the total hospitaled out of Miramar quarantine to 8. The patients currently, well, anyway, so one was released. So what's bad about this, if you live in an apartment building, this is how, I doubt it, these people are well-to-do, going to China. But if you're released into an apartment complex, here's the people in the airport. They're waiting to fly out of China. Toll in China tops 100 daily. So, I'm not surprised. I considered this a high. I still have a bit of a cough. My problem was the violent coughing was very dangerous for rupturing a small blood vessel, or severe constriction of the blood vessels could cause a hemorrhage, from the headaches. Don't ever forget that, you guys. The National Health Commission said in its daily update, 108 deaths have been reported over the previous 24 hours, increasing the total to 1,016 deaths in mainland China since the illness began appearing. And now we're talking about places that were under quarantine. The crossing of more grim thresholds is dimming optimism that the near quarantine of some 60 million and other disease control measures might be working. Say might. Here's the cruise ship that's marooned. Okay, so no. Okay, so my gravy is looking good. So you can see this is plenty of food for me to be eating. Some of it will be eaten today and some of it will be eaten tomorrow. So what I do is with these, I just, usually just like to dip. But if you have bread, that's good too. Okay. Yummy. I bought cookies marked down. These are good. You can see some are missing. And I got this, 50 cents. Now, back to the coronavirus. Okay. Now, do I see evidence of the coronavirus? Yes. What do I see? I see Asians wearing masks. That tells me possibly they have traveled out of the country and now they're back here and they're wearing masks so as not to infect anyone. And also I see nurses wearing, people in nursing uniforms wearing masks. Tells me possibly they are nursing people with the coronavirus, and it's not 100%, sure if they have it. That's the problem. So evidence is when you see people in masks. Don't use public transportation. That's dangerous. Standing in line, that is very dangerous. I'm pretty much suspending shopping in those kind of places where they keep you standing in line 9, 10, 15 minutes, and the whole time you're being exposed. Cover your mouth and nose and sneeze into a napkin. And then throw the napkin away and wash your hands. Wash your hands immediately. Use a fan or an open window. Prepare to cover common vents. Don't just prepare to cover them a little bit. Imagine that a life-threatening pneumonia is coming through those vents to kill you. There's been quite a few outbreaks on the cruise ship. Of course, there's common vents. Very bad for infants, like pretty much not going to survive. Places to avoid: welfare office, social security office, DMV, emergency rooms, clinics, hospitals, prisons, jails, and homeless centers. And so the smart thing for us to do is prepare for quarantine, just in case. I mean, if you live in an apartment and one person comes down with it, you can pretty much bet if it starts taking off, you'd be quarantined. You go, that's paranoid. Yeah, that's true, but it's better to be prepared. So what you want to do is, you don't have to spend thousands of dollars, but stockpile food. Keep your food in the refrigerator or freezer and use cans because they cannot be contaminated, and closed containers. Water, gas, cash, and a weapon. Okay, because if it goes on and it gets worse, here's what you can expect. You'll be staying home from work, school, and other public places. And what I've been doing is start sanitizing your home. Wash your hands as soon as you get home and make sure that you can ventilate your dwelling. Like say, okay, if somebody who I was sharing common vents with had the coronavirus, how would I ventilate my rooms? Okay, always cover your mouth with a tissue when you cough or you sneeze. Wash your hands and don't visit other people and don't invite them to visit you. When the coronavirus blows over, then maybe, but right now I wouldn't be messing around. Okay, you guys, please like, comment, and subscribe, and God bless you all.